Hi everyone, welcome to our Q&A Monday. My name's Hannah, so I help you to reduce your tax burden so you can sleep better at night and have a healthier lifestyle. So today's topic is actually about tax breaks that you can have when you are adopting a healthier lifestyle. It is actually very interesting, and perhaps if you really take a close attention to the tax rule, then there are some tax breaks that they try to encourage people to have healthier life choices. Okay, so of course not all systems are perfect. So today we're going to talk about what we have so far in terms of government using tax as a tool to encourage you to eat healthier and live healthier. And also we are looking into some, because I have done some research on this topic, and if there's any improvement and why it is important that perhaps the tax system need to be designed in a way that encourage people to live healthier. Okay, so first of all, why I'd like to mention this. Last Friday, I've done the live session with someone who's a who is really enthusiastic with health. So we had a health and wealth connection webinar. So last time we not just talk about how to have a healthy relationship with your money and tax, but also have a healthy relationship with your body. So if you are interested in, I will have that video available for you on YouTube as well. And of course, if you are watching this one on YouTube, be free to subscribe to my channel so that you can also find that video about health and wealth connection. Okay, so today is another kind of health-wealth connection topic. It is about tax breaks that are available that government use to encourage you to live a healthy lifestyle. So first of all, what we have is, I think in the UK we do have the cycle to work scheme. I know that it's raining very heavily at the moment. I try to project my voice a bit louder so I can override that. Okay, so first of all, we have cycle to work scheme. That is, every year the employer can give employee certain amount of a bicycle voucher for them to purchase a bicycle or something related, so that instead of taking the public transport or driving a car to work, they cycle to work. In that way, they can live be more active because they're cycling when they're commuting. So when they are being more active, they exercise more, and then their body become healthier, so they become more productive. I think that is really a brilliant movement. I think, yes, it is important that at workplace, not just the employees, they have to be conscious about their health, but also employer also need to be conscious about the employees' health as well, so that everyone can be more productive, and then they can help you to earn more money. So, of course, as we say, when you are not healthy, literally, like if you are having a headache or if you are having a cold, then you literally just want to get by. You only just want to survive, and you never want to go extra mile and to thrive or adding more value to serve your customers better. So health is actually very important. Looking after your own health is eventually helping you to add more value to other people's lives. So that's the least selfish thing you can do. Okay, so yeah, cycle to work, that is a brilliant movement. I think a couple of years ago, there is also the petition I've seen that is Run for Work. They want to have it doing very similar to cycle to work. But I don't think at the moment it's successful. But I think, cycle to work or even movement like this, these are brilliant. So I think that's one of the most brilliant tax breaks so far in the UK to encourage people to live a healthy lifestyle. And the second thing, a couple of other things, again, if you are running a business and you have employees, so of course, if you give them like a gym membership or health insurance, for you, it is a tax deduction for your business tax, but for them, it might be a taxable income, taxable benefit. So they might need to pay a tax on that. But again, if you are having like health facilities, like gym facilities in your workplace, or you're having hiring a health coach, like doing the sessions for your employees in your workplace, so that is allowable as well. So that is a deduction. In that way, it's really encourage you to look after your employees' well-being so that they can be healthier and be more productive. So if you have an on-site gym or you have like a workplace health program, which make sure you do document it, especially your small business, do document that that health program, it is necessary for your business, for you to look after your employees' welfare. So in that way, that is a tax deduction for you. Okay, so other things like for small businesses and especially you have employees, there are certain type of activities that might be like having injuries very easily, especially when they are on the factory or they are sort of on the building side. So they might have like the risks of getting injured can be higher. So in that way, for you, any expense or insurance to cover them for this like injury or treatment, that can be tax deductible as well, because that's necessary. That's really protect them because the risk of getting injured can be high. So that it's also part of health and safety regulation as well. And of course, if your employee are required to do lots of like screen work, their eyes might be sort of easily to be impaired. So doing eye tests or like glasses, things like that, they can be tax deductible as well if like they do a lot of screen work, that their vision is very important for them to carry out the activity. So that by looking after your employees that way, you can get a tax breaks as well. Okay, so these are things that small businesses, available for small businesses who have employees. There are other elements we can look at is about the sales tax, or we in this country we call it value-added tax. And currently, as we know, if you buy cigarettes or alcohol, these are the things that say it's bad for you. So government do have duties on alcohol and cigarettes. So that's just to discourage people to buy more. So that fewer people will buy it, and more people choose to live healthier, to discourage people to buy the things that are not good for them, so that they can have a healthier life choices. And also there are other things like if we look at the VAT, this is a very interesting element, especially VAT related to food. So most of the food, like if they are in the whole and raw form, like raw vegetables or raw meat, these are, of course, for health point of view, when the food is in the raw and whole form, these are healthier than the processed foods. So in most of the time for human consumption, all these raw foods, they are zero rate VAT. So when you buy that, they shouldn't have a VAT charge on that. But things like ice cream, some processed foods, these are standard rate VAT. So when you buy them, it can be there will be some VAT charge on that. So effectively, they become more expensive. So it requires, like, when you want to buy them, you probably need to take into consideration, look at your budget. If they become more expensive, then probably people will buy less. But of course, at the moment, not all processed foods are standard rated. So there are still some processed foods that are 0 rated. So like food section, VAT on food section, this is a very interesting topic. And then it is very complicated as well. So, but in general, things like food in vegetables and meats, these are the things tend to be healthier. These are like 0 rated, and processed foods, when they are being manufactured or processed, they tend to have a VAT charge on that. So that's the other thing. And also things like health services. Of course, in the UK, in this country, we have the National Health Service that is accessible and available for everyone, which is free of charge. And that is a very good system. Of course, that is funded by taxpayers' money as well. But of course, if you sometimes you might also go to the private clinic. So if that's like private medical practice, and your main activity is your main medical service, that's the primarily focus is on preventing the disease, or sort of serving the human health, then that is exempt from registering VAT. So as we say, if you run like a dental practice for the dental service, these are not the things that you have to register VAT. We call it exempt supply, or we just say these are the things, these are the services, these are serving human health. Government wanted to make it affordable, even if that's private. So these are exempt from VAT purpose. But things like plastic surgery, these may not, because you may still survive healthily without the plastic surgery, unless you have like very serious facial damage. Then that's a different thing. But if you just generally want to look like certain way, but not necessary for you to survive, then like plastic surgery, these are different. These are not just human health. It's more for like cosmetic purpose. Okay, so these are the general things that so far, things like if we choose to look after our body, look after our health better, and these are the tax breaks that are available so far. Of course, for the tax deduction part, these can have some flexibility if you are a business owner. There are things it differs from businesses to businesses. For instance, if you are like a health coach or fitness trainer, and if you subscribe to gym membership, that might be a allowable expense. So it's really like tax deductions. If you choose to adopt a healthy lifestyle, or if that's your company culture, that to look after your employees' health, then yeah, it might be like the cost related to looking after the health, then that can be tax deductible. But yes, do take professional advice before you want to do that. Make sure you do it properly. Make sure you have do it in a way that is legal when you need to do it in a way when taxmen come to investigate. You have sufficient documents to support your argument. So not just you can argue it, but also you can prove it. So make sure you do that. Okay, so having talked about tax breaks so far with healthy lifestyle, I'm sure these are from UK perspective. I'm sure different countries, they do have different things. Like government want to encourage people behave a certain way in that country. So they probably have the equivalent or have very similar tax breaks related to health. But so far, I would say, of course, no system is perfect. I think it is like at the beginning, I think like that cycle to work scheme, this kind of movement is very brilliant in terms of encouraging people looking after their own health. And in the UK, we do have our National Health Service that is funded by taxpayers' money. And also from my recent research, that it actually costs the NHS more than £11 billion a year to treat the diseases that are caused by poor lifestyle choices. So again, of course, we pay the fair share amount of tax, but 11 billion to treat disease like that is a huge tax burden for our taxpayers. But if everyone choose to live a healthier lifestyle, and this number might reduce, and then probably the NHS or the government, they can free up the money to invest in more things like prevention of disease or doctors' welfare, or even things like enhancing people's lifestyle or more better school sports facilities. So they can free up a lot of more money to do better things that can to make people healthier. So that is why I think it's very important that for us to really, we pay the fair share amount of tax. But the real thing about reducing taxpayers' burden is really for everyone to look after their own health and really appreciate the health system we have so far. We cannot misuse it. Yes. And also, as I said, as I mentioned, like cigarettes and alcohol, now it is charging like duties, VATs. Government make it more expensive so that less people will buy. But also a few of recent documentaries about health. And also I do have some knowledge about nutrition and health because I have done like fitness trainer program before, so I do know certain element about living a healthy lifestyle, healthy living, healthy eating. So like things like refined sugar, apparently these are like a confectionery. Of course, we say processed foods. Some processed foods, they are standard rated, but not all processed foods are standard rated. And of course, at the moment, if that's things like sugar, like biscuits or chocolate, they don't have duty. Like chocolate bar, there are a lot of refined sugar. It is really these are apparently not charge any duties. But some research shows that refined sugar is actually as bad as alcohol and cigarettes, because eventually by eating a lot of refined sugar, what you put into your body eventually causing things like diabetes or obesity. So these are actually the kind of lifestyle choice. These are actually as bad as sugar, as bad as cigarettes and alcohol. So why government shouldn't charge more duties on refined sugar? For the health system to run more efficiently, why should government, rather than restricting junior doctors' contracts or like things like not giving healthcare professionals more welfare, but not charging, perhaps it's a better choice of adding more duties on refined sugar or things like causing obesity or causing disease, than try to budget on healthcare professionals' salary. That is just my humble opinion anyway. But if you do have any other thoughts about health system and tax system, be free to let me know. You can comment below. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment as well, or direct message me, so we can also have a chat, because health, that is something I really cared about. Okay, so I would say today we cover the existing tax breaks that government have to encourage people to live a healthier lifestyle. And some other thoughts, it's just my humble opinion about why it is important that for everyone to look after our own health. And also if our tax system has to be designed in a way, is there any more improvement, like for our tax system to be designed in a way that encourage more people to live a healthier lifestyle? So these are just my humble opinion. And of course, if you do have any specific questions on the tax deductions, I know more and more people want to live a healthier lifestyle, especially entrepreneurs or business owners. We want to keep our body healthy so we can serve more people. If you do want to talk more about certain costs related to health, that if they can be tax deductible or not, then be free to let me know. That is really personal, tailored to different businesses. So if you think there's a possibility, then be free to personal message me so we can arrange a chat. In a way, I can really understand more about your business, more about your perspective and your business culture. And then I can give you my advice of how you can do it, if you can do it or how you can do it in a way that you can not just argue it, but also you can prove it. Okay, so I hope you find this one useful, and I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I shall see you very soon. Bye now.